So we have done everything so far up to this point. We have our complex debt schedule completed, and we also have our financial statements completed. So now we are ready for our credit metrics. So we have it set up here right at the bottom. So we want to account for the credit. We have it here set up right at the bottom for us. So there are a lot of things that we're going to be doing here. So we have the years in place from year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, where we could choose. So we have that set up already for us. So we want to reference some very important metrics from our financial statements. So the first we're going to reference here is going to be EBITDA, and it's before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. So we want to reference EBITDA. So we have it right here. And then our current taxes, that is our cash taxes. We have to reference that from our income statement. So we have our current tax there in place. And our capital expenditures, we also have to reference that from our cash flow statement. Whatever this company at this point in time after the transaction planned on spending on capex, we reference that from the cash flow statement. We have it there. Going forward, we also want to reference our total interest expense. So the total interest expense, we have it summarized at the very after the debt schedules. So total interest expense, we'll reference this amount. And also our mandatory principal repayment. So the mandatory principal repayment, we know that we had that also summarized for us in our debt schedule. So we go right to the top. Mandatory principal repayment here. We reference that. We just switch the sign to make it a positive, because we are showing everything here in the financial metrics as positive. So for the total debt, we have it already summarized at the very bottom of our debt schedule. So we have the total debt here, ending balances. So we have that in place. So we can now take this and fill it right with Control R for the rest of the years. So we have all of those in place. So the next thing we want to do here is to bring in our target here, target covenant, covenant reduction, and the first year of covenant. So we have this already set up in our assumption section. So we go to the transaction tab. And we see that we have it set up here. So in this case, the target year of covenant is the third year. We reference that there. And also the target covenant is 4 times in this case. And then we have the covenant reduction. We also have to reference that, which in this case, the covenant reduction for the total debt to EBITDA is 0.5 times. So in order to set up our time period, it's gonna be based on an if statement. So we're gonna say if the year we are in is less than or equal to our target year of covenant, then give us a yes, otherwise give us a no. So we custom formatted that already. The yes is equal to 1 and the no is equal to 0. So we can copy this, Alt ESF, paste as formulas to keep the formatting in place. So we have to make sure that we are always referencing our target year of covenant with F4. You can copy this, Alt ESF, paste as formulas, and we have deadline in place. So the next thing we want to do here is to account for our first year of covenant. So it's a kind of a very intuitive formula, but we're gonna say that it's gonna be equal to whatever the target covenant was. We add that, and then we add that to our target year, that is the third year, and then we multiply that by our covenant reduction of 0.5 times. And then we subtract 1